Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna explore user related code and UI. So alright, let's dive into it. So I just open up the user slice, and you can see inside the store I have API, slice, and a store, right? So this is the user slice. So as you already talk about sign up user, login user, and now we are going to cover the rest of the Thunk function, right? So before explaining any this user slice, first I want to show you something so that will help you throughout your React journey, because I'm gonna explain to you this app, this four file. So and throughout our project, front-end UI, we are going to use those term or those concept. So let me explain to you. So first I'm using Canva. So yeah, so I have 15 slide. So just if you focus, this is the URL, okay, and this is the main concept, because we're going to understand all the hooks, right? So because we are going to deal with this URL a lot. So if you don't know, so let me just explain to you like a brief overview what it is. So URL means, I think uniform resource locator, okay, and this is the a simple URL, okay. So you see, this is the, let me explain to you, this is a protocol, HTTPS, okay. So if you use localhost, so you couldn't see, like you cannot see, and S, because S means more security, and then host name, this is a host name. And like if you use a localhost, you cannot see this www dot, right? So this is the host name, and then port, and yeah, so you can see port like localhost, and then path name, right, the resource path on the server. So this red color here, it's a path name, and then the search, right, query string for parameter, this is a query string. And here you can see this is the search string, and then this white segment, it's a hash, so like fragment identifier. All right, so I think you understand this is the basic URL, okay, the URL address. So we are going to deal with these things. And now this is a term, browser router. So this router is coming from React router, okay. So like, and the purpose is like browser router is a router component that use the HTML5 history API, like push state, replace state, and pop state event, right? And if you look at the main features, like it enables client side routing without full page reloads, right? And then usage, like wrap your application in browser router to enable routing functionality. So if you don't use this browser router, you cannot able to routing your resource. So this is an example. And yeah, like we have to import from React router DOM, right? And browser in a browser router. So this is a container, and the routes and route. So we have to wrap up all the things, and then routes, and then route. Don't worry, I explain each term, and then routes. So what it is, the route matching container replace the old switch. So like we used to use switch, but now we replace with routes. It takes route children and choose the best match for the current path name. It supports nested routes and route ranking. The behavior is very simple. Like match the path name only, not query or hash. So routes just only focus path name. So if you go back to here, this is a path name. So that's why I explained to you, because every term is matter right now in the URL. Okay, so and path name. So routes only is dealing with a path name, and perform intelligent ranking, so more specific routes win. And then to render nested routes, use outlet. So outlet, we use outlet to render children, right, inside the nested route. All right, and this is example. So if you look at this, so we import React router DOM. Okay, and yeah, route. So this is a container routes, and if you look at the green, so we have the route inside this route. So this is the cyan, yeah, so if you look at the cyan color, so yeah, we have routes, and then inside routes we have this children route, and yeah, and then route. So it's a it declares a single route. So and key props is path, string pattern, right? This is a path and element, the React element to render when match. Notice, element is not a hook, not component. So it render a element. So when I say element, so you have to do like this, right? This is an element, not component. But if you use component, if you don't use this, if you don't close this, it doesn't matter. But for element, we have to close these things. An index makes the route an index route, no path. And then children, nested routes, declare directly as children inside route. This is the route, and this is the things. So this is the path about, and this is the element. So path prop can include static path. Okay, this is a static path, dynamic segment, like ID for variable part. Okay, and then wildcard. Wildcard means if you put asterisk, so all the unmatched route you can show, and an element prop accept a JX element. As I told you, JX element, not component, and support nested route for layout, rendering child route inside a parent component. As I said, like an outlet. And now link and nav link. Okay, so now some few component, and yeah, I can explain. So what link and nav link? Okay, so a React component that renders. So this is a component, not a hook. Link is a component. Instead of a anchor, right? But intercept clicks to perform client-side navigation via history API. So this is the JavaScript concept, and no full page reload. Okay, so link component help you to navigate in one page to other page by clicking it, right? This is a thing. So you can see prop two is a string or location object, like path name, search, has, state. And state, like optional location state passed to the new entry use location. Don't worry, I will explain to you this use location. And then replace, if true, replace the current history entry instead of pushing on. All right, and nav link. Okay, so you also use nav link, special like link that can apply active styles class. Like when like we're going to use this nav link, so where you can get the more clarity. Okay, so style classes when the link match the current route. So like if you want to if you want to style, so you can see the prop is active, right? So yeah, so here just I will give you the overview, but when we are working style or the logic, then you can understand. Okay, that is the things. So link and nav link. So this is the code. So we have to import React router DOM. All the things here, just we have to import React router DOM. So we are talking about router, right? And yeah, this is the link. So as I tell, this is two props, and yeah, open user and then nav link. Also we are using two props, and then class name. So if you use nav link, so you can yeah, So you enables this is active, right? And then yeah, this is the use case of link and nav link. And then use params. This is the hooks. These hooks return an object of URL path parameter, right? So yeah, so if you go here, this is the use param, right? And so yeah, this is the URL. So an object of URL path parameter. So you can see here, this is the const ID, right? And so like return value like an object where every key is a parameter name and every value is a match string. So whatever name you put inside like inside browser router or inside routes, okay, you can get as a key, and all the value like it's gonna be a string. So yeah, if you declare like this user ID profile and current URL like this, so use param return ID, this ID 42, right? So ID is a key and 42 is a string. Now works with nested routes. It contains all params from parent plus child match, and you can also convert explicitly number, right? This is the use param, because we are going to use param a lot. Like all the concept I explained to you, there is a lot of use case every project. And yeah, this is the syntax, like we have to import from router a React router DOM and then function like this. So and here we are using destructuring. Okay, if you like if you confuse about destructuring, like object destructuring or array destructuring, please just please ask ChatGPT or anything, so you can get understanding, because throughout the project, in real project we are using this destructuring a lot. So here we are using destructuring because as I said, use param return an object, okay, so with this ID. So here just we are destructuring ID, and then if you console log, so you can get this ID like this. So this is the use param. And now use search param. So use param and use search param dealing with the like use search param dealing with like the string, the dynamic the query string, right? And this is dealing with the path. So use param are dealing with the path, right? And use search param dealing with the query string. So a hook to read and modify the query string search parameter in the URL. You can see, because I think every platform allow us to search anything. So how you can understand, so we have a URL, so inside URL we are passing all the things, and then use search param, use such params job to grab that address and show you the resource you want to, right? So we have this syntax. So use search param, okay, and under the hood, like it work like use state. So you can see two things: search params and set search param. So use search param is coming from React router, okay, but if you use JavaScript, so you can use URL search param, right? But yeah, like this URL search param. So this URL search param and use search param, they are working same. But if you use search param, you have more features to do. But URL search param, you have to do lot of things. So yeah, so React router, their team make it very simple. So we have two things. So use search param return two things. First is search param and set search param, similar to use state. So what it is? So search param a real URL search param object lets you read value from the query string like this way, right? So search param work like URL search param. So it's an object and which is read values from query string, And then set search param function lets you update the query string in the URL. So if you use URL search param, so you you yeah, like you cannot update URL, right? So you have to update, you have to use a history API, then you can update. But if you use this use search param, so you can update easily. That is the things I try to say. So search param is a URL search param like object with method like same method we have get all, has, append, all the method we have, right? And also, yeah, search param lets you update the query string. You can pass an object like this or string, it replaces the current search by default. So this is a use search param. And now we have use location. So use location also dealing with the entire URL. So it's a hook that returns the current location object, right? Providing details about URL, including path name, search, hash, everything. So if you use location, it provide entire your current location or URL. So and it returns a object like this: path name, search, hash, state, and key. So it re-renders component using use location, re-render whenever the location changes, like navigate, link, click, browser, backward, forward. All right. So this is the navigation. The use location and use navigate, they are working like navigation. Even though link also use like a navigation, but there is a use case like there is a difference between use navigate and link. So if you use link, so link allow you to navigate through clicking, by clicking on it. But if you use navigate, so use navigate, it's a hook that provides a function to automatically navigate to new URL, right? So like it's a function to like grammatically navigate to new URL. So this is a use navigate. And so by coding you can navigate from one page to other, right? One URL to other URL, whatever it is. So we have this some like some simple way. So navigate path, so you have to put the path and then navigate path and then replace true. If you put this replace true, so it replaces the current entry. So why? Because like if you use simple way, so browser create a history, okay? So yeah, but if you use this way, so if you check out like browser, you cannot see your browser history. And if you use navigate, so you go back. Like if you use this replace true, but if you use, it cannot go back. Right, so we have -1 on a 1 means forward. So you can see it's a string URL, right? And -1 to go back and 1 to go forward. And you can pass an option, object will replace this way, and yeah. So this is the use navigate. So this is all about all the important hooks or component. So yeah, let's back to the our VS Code. So yeah, I think it make you, it help you. Okay, now let's understand the code base. Okay, so let's first understand this app. So yeah, I think you know very well. Okay, this is the app. This is a app auth layout. This is a main layout. This is the main layout, and this is the app route. So we have to like auth layout. So inside auth layout, we only show you three things. If you look at in auth layout, we are only show you login and sign up, and then update seller. But in main layout, in main layout, except these three route, we are showing the rest of the routes, right? And yeah, this is the auth layout, and this is main layout, and this is the route. So we integrate both inside this. So this is our separate code base, and then we integrate this all the things into app. So if you look at now, we have just browser route, as I explained to you. This is the container, and then app routes. So this app route, and then toast container. So it's a like it's a toastify to show you message. And yeah, that's it. So we are going to integrate all the things as you go. So we already discussed these two things, login and sign up, and now we are going to explain all the user related things. So let me first explain to you the user Thunk. Okay, Thunk function. So yeah, create slice, create Thunk, and then yeah. So this is the flow, like and now if you look at upgrade seller, it's a basic code. So we are using underscore because here we are not getting any data from component, right? So that's why we are using. And yeah, like I explained to you all the things right now, just I'll go through, because when I explain to you sign up user, all the terminology I explained deeply. So now it's the same pattern. We are using create async thunk. First argument we are providing identifier name, like yeah. So Redux toolkit can understand this name, and then second is the async function. Second argument, in second argument we are passing like async function, and then inside try block we are passing these things. We are calling upgrade seller. So this is the API function, right? And so yeah, and here we are using the base URL and then Axios, and yeah, Axios create and then base URL with credential true, and then we are just calling patch. So we are using patch because if you look at our backend, we have used a patch, so you have to maintain, right? So this is the, because HTTP request method you have to follow the, yeah, if you use patch here, you have to use in backend patch. So patch means like modify the required data, but if you use put overwrite entire your field. So yeah, it's a simple just upgrade seller. And upgrade seller, yeah, this is the let's go to the fetch current user. So let me show you. I think I should open up the routes, user route, so you can relate. So this is the upgrade seller, right? So patch, and yeah, this is upgrade seller, and yeah, we are using patch like this, yeah, and user seller, yeah. So fetch current user, if you look at here, fetch current user, so it's a current user, get what users, like who log in, I want to fetch. So same, create async thunk, and then I calling this fetch current user here, this with this API get me, right? And if I get successful message, so I show you this one. Let me yeah, so I show you the message. Okay, so and data users, so response data users, right? So if the request is successful, we can grab the entire document from the way we structure from backend, we can get here, right? Or if our response if our request is failed, so we can grab that error inside this reject with a value. This is a fetch current users. And then we have logout user. It's very simple. We're using underscore because we are not getting anything from component, right? So just call the logout and then return null, because right now, like if you log out, we don't care about anything, just remove make it all the things null. So yeah, this is the things. And we are requesting post with logout. Yeah, this is the logout backend router. And then and then we have update users. So we have two things, like we are getting here object, user ID, form data. This is the object, right? So this name is very the way we structure component, we have to structure this way, because this is the component, this is the object. So but if you don't use object, as I said earlier, it doesn't matter. But as we are using objects, we have to put carefully the name, user ID, form data, right? Because right now we are getting, yeah, we are getting a user ID, and then we are passing this user ID in form data. What type of data we want to update? So yeah, with this we are passing, and this is the API function, and yeah. So, and this user ID is a dynamic. If you look at here, so yeah, this is a dynamic ID, right? And then yeah, and we are using field, because not only we care about profile image, and also we are using other, max count one. So that's why you have to use field, right? And then this is the update, and let me also, you can understand it. And if you get, if the response is successful, then we grab that entire object. If not, just grab the message. That's it. This is the update user. And then we have two things. There is a two approach to delete users. Okay, the first approach is getting the user ID, and then if you look at here, like, I can use dynamic ID, but I observe here we don't need, because if you want to delete yourself, so without ID you can delete it. But let's say you are let's say you are admin, so you want to delete other users who are doing bad things on your platform, so you can delete them. So for that, I think ID is necessary. But for your case, if you want to delete yourself, we don't need ID. So I also create separate code. So yeah, there is a comment, so you can see I comment here, right? So yeah, so you have to grab first user ID, and then you have to pass the user ID. Yeah, this way you can delete. But the second approach is the best approach, I think, for our case. So we are not getting anything, and just we getting the message, and we delete users, right? Even if you return nothing, so it will work, it doesn't matter. So this is a delete user. Okay, and now our extra reducer. So login, yeah, this is a fetch current user. So in pending we make it true and either null, and then if it's success, yeah, when it in fulfilled, then we assign entire payload inside current user. And then if error, inside we are assigned action payload error. Logout, fulfill null. So and for logout case, we only care about this one thing, fulfill, nothing else. And then update seller, so make it true, and then action payload current user. So for this extra reducer, there is no a difficult logic. This is very simple. Just assign entire payload inside that state, right? So update seller, yeah, just true, and then fulfill. This is update seller, and now it's update users. Just make it true, and then action payload. So you can see I just comment out the console log. So like when you face any error, so you have to debug every section, right? So I did. So just I show you, and yeah, just update and fulfill, just assign interaction payload and reject error, and then delete also. Just you have to make it null. That's it. And then error reset, and this is the action. So Redux Toolkit create action automatically. You don't need to worry about it. So this is the user slice, and this is the user API, right? So you can see I just request delete with me, and if you use that this way user ID, so you have to do this way. So yeah, this is the user ID, and then like this is the reducer. So this is a global store. So I import user and user reducer as I explained to you, and then you have to provide this in a store inside this main.js, right? and we are provider and store. So provider is a wrapper. So we wrap the app, and this app is this app, right? So yeah, this is the main.js. So we discuss it, and app also. And here if you look at, we use all the things. Use dispatch, use selector, browser, app routes, push container, fetch current user. So yeah, we are using fetch current user and get card because of a reason. Right now I'm not explaining get card, but let me explain you fetch current user. So why we are calling here? So there is a use case, right? So because my current users associate with a lot of features. Okay, so that features depend on current users. If current user exists, then that logic or that UI you can see, right? So when I put here, so when our app is load, so it call the fetch current user. So instantly current users will be active. That is the use case. So I use effect, and then if current user is exist, sorry, I dispatch fetch current users. That's it. And right, so I explain to you this one when I will work with card. And yeah, and this is the app auth layout. This is the outlet. As I told you, inside app auth layout, all the children we can see here. It's a basic, just it's a default function, and this is the UI, basic UI, and this is the main, and then main layout, auth layout, and main layout. And yeah, header, navigator. Okay, and we are using, this is the outlet and header, navigator, and we are passing the prof, like it's a, yeah, like each side bar open and set sidebar open, and use is true, and then toggle sidebar. It's a very basic logic. Just flip it. If true, make it false. If it's false, make it true. So this is the setter function, right? Because earlier I explained to you, we have three way to update the this one, like, yeah, this is a, like, this is a setter function, and this is a function inside use state. So to update this function, or this function, we have to use setter function. So this is a value. Okay, to update this this one, we have to call this the setter function. So we have three ways. First is putting direct value, and second is with function, and third is with array. All right, so here we are just passing this setter function. That's it. And this is the main div. So it work as a container, and we have this this UI, right? This is a basic UI. So small margin padding to of 20, because we have a header. So yeah, so here you have to calculate like what's your layout, like width and a height. So based on it, we have to calculate all the things. And this is the header, and this is the body. So we have navigator bar, like it's a sidebar. You can see sidebar. So we use flex and flex one. The entire sidebar can stretch out the entire sidebar, the entire width. So yeah, and then main area. So main area is sidebar open. So we logically if sidebar open, the width margin left will be 0, and or larger is it's gonna be 64. And yeah, you can see it's a basic UI. And then outlet. So this is a auth app, and then app routes. So you can see we are using routes. As I told you, inside browser route, we have to use routes. And then this is a route. This is a route. This is a child route, and we have nested route. Then this is another route, like main app routes, right? Because this is a child, and then we have nested route. So right now I'm not gonna explain to you, because yeah, this one right now I will work. Okay, so let me show you the UI right now. I think So okay, so this is a SAMT. Let me create. Right now I'm not a seller. If you look at here account, you can see this account, update profile, delete account, and become creator. So okay, let me first explain to you this, this UI. Then we can work with this become creator. It's a very basic UI. Okay, so we already work all the things. I think I have to remove this user ID, main.js, not store. Here you are. Okay, so inside page we have the user folder. Inside user folder we have account and update. Let's understand account first. So it's a basic, all the basic icon, and delete users, it's a thunk function, and then motion and use selector and use dispatch, and we call user navigate, use dispatch, and then current user from users. Right, if you look at the name is very important, user store, this is a user, and then handle delete account. Let me explain to you. It's a asynchronous function, and we are showing when you click on it, right? If you click on it, you can show a message. Are you sure you want to delete your account? This action can't be undone, right? Cancel. So this is the things. This is the message. You can customize based on your message, right? And you can access Windows confirm. Windows is an object. It's a DOM. It's a like it's an object, like it's a global object. So you have this method confirm, and then I just make it flip. I use not operator, and then return nothing. If you cancel it, then yeah, you instantly stop that logic. And then inside try, we are dispatching this delete, and then toast account, and then navigate to login, right? And then yeah, the message. This is the handle delete account. It's very simple. Just you have to understand how you call this dispatch, right? So I explained to you these things earlier. It's the same structure, and here because we are not passing any things, right? If you look at, we are not getting anything here. Delete user, this one, right? So that is the things. So yeah, and this is a handle update profile. So dynamically we can go, we can navigate. If you look at update profile, so if you look at here, just we have user account, but if you click on it, you can see update profile, and this is a user ID, so we can navigate here, right? So yeah, so update profile, and if you look at here app routes, so you can see update users. This is the update user, so update profile and slash ID, and if you look at here, this is a dynamic ID. So as I explained to you, we are using use params, right? Let me show you where you using use param. So here we are not using use param because we are using current ID, but when you fetch, fetch current user, where in that component we are using use param. So I will show you, okay, because here we are directly using current ID. So that is the things. So because yeah, so this is the dynamic ID, okay, and yeah, so if you look at this way, so yeah, like update, and then this is the dynamic. So yeah, this is and if you click on it, so it navigate, it take you to this URL or this address, and then handle create product, same, like if you click on it, you can go. So like yeah, so this one, there is a conditional. If you are a creator, then you can see these things. So I'll show you, and also these things, and handle upgrade seller, and Yeah, upgrade seller. Upgrade seller. So this one, become a creator, right? So yeah, and then if current user not there, so no user data available, please log in. That's why I guys told you in app.js we are already called. So when our app is launched or when our app is mount, instantly the if user ID exists, so you can see. As I told you, every component mostly we are using current user ID to check it you're login or not. And then this is the UI. So we have this, this is the entire container. So we are using motion, and this is a basic boilerplate code, and the class is very basic. And this is my a theme, right? Yeah, it's not a good theme, but yeah, I think yeah, for me it's still good. Okay, now all the class, if you look at, then you can understand. And then the second div, right? So this is the nested div. So this is the container, and we have all the things. And then this is a profile header. This one, this is a profile header. Sam to all man. So and profile header. So and then we have user information. We have user information, and then action button. So we have inside this div we have three section. Profile header, user information, and action button. So profile header, we are using flex column, item center, is this y4, right? And then image is conditional, and we are using ternary operator. If current user profile exists, then show this UI. Otherwise, show this only this icon. And then the name, current user name. Here, this is a profile, and this is the current name. And then here we are just the it's a paragraph, and then message manage your e-commerce profile. This is the profile header. And then user information, this one, this information, three card. So, and if you want to see these things in what, no. Let me show you. I don't know. Well, okay, yeah, responsive viewer. Okay, so let me mobile version. What? Why not I saw working? Let me change. Yeah, this is the phone version. I think it's make disturb, man. This is this is the free website, so that's why all the disturbing you can see. Yeah, now you can see, right? This is the profile page. You can see the account. You can see this way. This is our header, okay? And yeah, if you scroll here, now you can see this way. You can see this way. This is three: added profile, become creator, and delete user, right? And yeah, these three things also you can show this way. This is the responsive, yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. So let's back to the code. This is the user information. We're using grid columns 1, and then same, like, so Tailwind apply mobile first. Okay, so in mobile screen you can see the columns 1, and then when it becomes a small, more than a small size, then it becomes 3, right? Yeah. And then the icon, and then the basic information, the second div also icon, and the gender, and then third is like the account ID, and all the things we are getting from current user dot gender, right? So let me show you the, I think, the message, right? If we have, this is a current user. Okay, so so what we get, we are getting this entire object, right? So yeah, this is the email, gender, ID, listed product, and name, orders, profile image, role, and update. So we are just accessing, like, current user dot gender dot ID dot name dot role, like this. So we are accessing this way, right? So I console this way, user slice here, so I just console here. This is the console log. Or let me show you other things. This is the Axios, Control Alt Up. No. Okay, so if you, now you can see the data only, and then response. Now you can see the different things, right? I want to show you. Yes, current user, I think. Okay, let me change the message. Current user response and current user response data. Here you go. Now I think, now this is the only response. So this is the three, we have config, data, header, request, and status, right? So this is the raw response, and this is coming from Axios, right? So in config we have all the things, right? We don't care about it. Just we only care header, data. And if you look at second one, like response of data, right? Then we have these things. We have what the success true. We have this, success message and users. Now I want to show you the one thing from, because if you are able to decode, man, any problem or any debugging, you can solve it, man. That's the things I want to just show you how you can debug it. I think, oh, great, get a yes. So this way, this is a response, right? This is a response, and it starts 200, right? This is a message success true, and this is the user object. So if you don't structure this way, whatever user inside user collection, we can access front end. But if you look at, we only the structure here, so these things we can get. Okay, so this is a user, and then if you click on it, so yeah, so the order can be vary, the order can vary, right? So email, gender, ID, and all the things. And here only we care just, these things, response, data, users, because we have these two field, success, true. If you write, like, a response, data, success, so you can get only true, right? Because, yeah, so yeah, that is the use case of it, right? So you can debug it, like when you are not getting expected data, just you have to debug this way. So just I show you, man. Let me remove other things. Now it's not useful. And there you go. Now, yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, and this is a user. And this is the user information, and then action button. We have the conditional action button, right? So this is the first is update profile. Okay, this is fixed. Update profile, this is a fixed, right? If you look at here, right, if you look at the phone version, update profile is, you can see update profile is fixed. It's a tab version. I try to say, man. So yeah, update profile become creator, and so this is a fix for everybody, and then all the things gonna be dynamic. So we are checking current user, if role, if seller, then show this UI. So here you are using turn operator. If it's true, this segment, yeah, so show this segment. Here you have create product and dashboard, and it applicable, like it applicables for who are seller. So right now in our case we don't have. So if you look at, here, we only have role is buyer, so that's why things, right? And then second is, if not seller, then that means buyer, so they become creator and delete account, right? And delete account, it's a fixed. So this is the UI, and we use all the class, basic class, right? We use all the basic class. So I'm not gonna explain the class because it takes a lot of time, and I think, as I told you, this is a flow. Okay, so yeah, this is the user account. This is a user account. I hope you understand. And yeah, this is a user account. And next we are going to understand this UI, update user profile. And let's open up. So here you are. So all the basic things we import, and here just we are import update user Thunk, right? And use params and use navigate from router, because we are going to use param and use navigate, and also use state and use effect. So this is the things, right? Use param ID. So in account, like, we are getting this current user ID, but here we are using param. If you look at here, app route, so update user, yes, update user, update profile ID, right? So it's a dynamic. That is the things we are using. And this is a user account. This is a user account, routes, right? And here you are. So we are grabbing this, and here we are using destructuring. So use param, send a object. So inside object we have ID, like it's a key, and then a value, which means string. So we only care about this ID, right? So it's, and then yeah, then we call use navigate, use dispatch, and also current user and update user login, and these are coming from the global state. And this is the use state. So we are using empty, right? And yeah, so we are just restructuring the way we want to update. So we make it empty string, right? We make it empty string, but if you look at the name, address and gender already fill up. Why? I'll show you. And we are doing this way to control the, so it's a control state, right? This is the control state. So we can access through handling change, and this is the local state. The profile image and the preview image is null as a default, and then we use effect to fill up already the things, because let's go back. So if you update, so all the data already fill up. Why? Because like if you don't do this way, I think the user should be confused, and they might be thinking, oh my god, my data is removed. So yeah, so that's the things we have to use effect. So the use effect is very simple hook. When it's run, like when we are using this dependency, when current user change, so it runs, right? So we are using if state. If it exists, then run these things, and then we using setter function, set from data and all the data, so name, current, user dot name. If exists, so otherwise empty, other empty. And password we are using empty because we don't want to show because of security, and then also gender, right? And set preview also image. If there is no, then just null. This is the use effect. And then handle input change. So if you look at I explained like when I explained login users, like sign up users, so where I handle two things inside one, like handle change, but here separately I handle like a handle input change, handle image change, just in order to show you we can do both way, nothing else. But you can optimize this to code, and yeah, I handle input. But I think yeah, we like this way. I think it's very separate things. So handle input change, like same, like we are doing restructuring, and then we are updating this, this, yeah, we are using setter function to update the value. And yeah, so just we keep it the previous, the old data, and then whatever data you want to update, we are grabbing here. This is a key and this is a value, and key means the name and value means all the string. Yeah, and handle input change, same things. And e target file, so inside file we have multiple, like, so first we have the URL, and then size, then bytes. So yeah, so we know this structure, so first we grab these things. And yeah, if file is exist, then we just update that profile image by calling setter function, like, yeah, then yeah, and we are creating URL. This is the class inside JavaScript, right? So as I guys told you, like when I discuss URL, okay, so yeah, this is a URL. So this is a built-in JavaScript class. So we have lot of method. So this is a create object URL. It's a method. So it creates a temporary URL, so you can access, and then you can show a preview. So yeah, these are things we are doing here. And then handle submit, same things. We are creating the, this is a form data. It's also JavaScript built-in instance, a class. So we are using when we are dealing with two things, text and file. So yeah, and then append, as I explained to you, entries like care two things, key and value. But if you use only keys, not entries, so key only care keys. But if you use values, so then value care only values. But here we need two things, so we can loop. So and here we are using for each to an object make everything into array, right? So because then we can run loop, right? So yeah, it's very simple. If value exists, append key and value inside this form data, inside the data variable, right? And this is a object, and then append profile image will exist. Very simple. And then call the update, and then dispatch the update user thunk and user ID, this ID, and form data. I said, guys, think about it for a second. This is the user ID and the form data, and we are passing this way. This is the right, because this is the object, and this ID is coming from params. Here you are. This is the params, and then form data, and this is the data. And unwrap, then message, navigate, and that's it. And this is the UI. This UI you can optimize based on your like, guys, just make yourself more creative. And then now you can use, and you spend a lot of time playing with ChatGPT or other AI tools. So just just let me show you the structure. This is the main container, okay, and yeah, this is the main container, and then we have the next then we have second div, and then we have top center profile section, and then we have another div, and then form. That's it. So top center profile section means we have the profile image. This is the profile image, and this is the icon. So definitely we used the relative to make it yeah, assign, yeah, that is the things we use relative. So yeah, div flex column item center, and then this is a, we're using ternary operator. If profile images exist, then so, otherwise not. Otherwise just show the name and you, and then upload trigger visually styled label. Input, we are using SR only, accept image. So you cannot see the input. Like, if you notice, if I remove here this class, then you can see the weird experience. Let me show you. Guys, think about a second, right? So you can see the input, right? So like, it creates a bad experience, right? So that's why we are using this one, SR only. So you cannot see these things, this input file, right? So if you click on it, then yeah. So in order to remove these things, we are using these things, this class src only, and this is a built-in Tailwind CSS. And yeah, and this is a, and then second is update your profile and modify your details like this. And this data, we have three things. So yeah, and then form, this form, and we are one submit. We are using one submit event and passing handle submit. This is the form, name, email address, password, gender, and this is the select, and this is the button. So yeah, on submit, and this is a form, and here you are not using the customize the component. So you can use, as I explained to you on sign up form, so where you already create separately the input field, the input component, and then we are just calling inside this form. So you can do that way. Don't worry. Email, this is a basic class, password, gender, and we are passing here error, and this is the button, and this is the dynamic class, right? So yeah, and then we import it, and then we assign here update profile ID, right? Yeah, and we are doing this way because we are navigate from account to here. But if you just if you don't want to do this way, so I think you don't need this. Let me update. Let me show you Sam Altman. Let's see it's working or not. Man, it's update, and then I navigate the home page. Now you can see it's update. Now it's update. You can update anything, right? So yeah, you can update any field to its work. And I think can I update, like, can I, yes, so I think I, yeah, I console log it update user. So yeah, I provide for email, gender, ID, name, profile image. These four things from backend, right? So you can destructure because you only allow this four field: email, gender, ID, name, profile, image. So based on your requirement, just structure all the data, and yeah, this is the user related all the controller, and I hope you understand. So for now, I think it's enough. So thank you so much